Got it.
And just in
Got it.
case.
Did you record it, Craig?
Yeah, I set mine in motion.
All right. I'm gonna leave everything alone, let you go.
All right. Well, it looks like we are rolling. Yes, indeed. Welcome, 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 everybody. It's so great to see you here on the premiere breakout session for everybody here, and as well as part of the Inner Circle, which we are going to be starting to promote and everything like that. If you have not joined the Inner Circle, I'm going to put the links in the chats. It's going to be an amazing group that we're going to put together. I'm going to let Robert talk more about it in just a moment, but please go to roberthollis.com/join if you have not done so already. I'm looking on the YouTube channel right now where we are broadcasting, and I see people with their little badges. So this is going to be exciting. Just some of the people with badges I see, and I'm sorry if I miss your name, but Bill Shoemaker, I see Sandy Baker, Vernay, Faith Castew, the Fiery Fairy. I think that was Katie Sanders.
Yep.
And then also welcoming Robert Tolnall or Tolnai and Sean Brannigan to the Inner Circle. So there's going to be so much to come. And we're excited to have you in it with us and to be part of this brand new Inner Circle with Robert Hollis. So, just want to say if you're watching us on YouTube, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you have not already, subscribe to our channel, hit that subscribe button, and then find that little bell that should be right around where the subscribe button is so that when we do lives for everybody here, you're going to get notified in advance, typically about a half an hour before we start, but that's okay. At least you'll know that we've done something, and then you can watch the replay. Very simple. Very, very simple. And so let us go ahead and get things rolling. Thank you so much for joining us. This is going to be an amazing day. Now, I know I said amazing, and we usually reserve that for Saturdays with our AMAs because they are amazing, the Ask Me Anythings. But today, the premiere, the initial breakthrough session with Robert Hollis. And I'm going to be honest with you as I introduce Robert. I've seen him do this. And there are a few people who are with us today who have seen Robert do his breakouts or his breakthrough sessions. And wow. Some of you have also maybe experienced a kind of breakthrough session with his mastering of the science of getting rich, because we kind of did that a little bit.
Let us go
But
ahead and get things rolling. Thank
okay,
you
I
so
see.
much.
There we go. So this is exciting, and you are here with us for the very first one. So without further ado, let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, our dear friend, a gentleman who is he's grown from almost nothing to becoming where he is today, 36 years later, helping over 66 people become millionaires. And what does he want? He wants you to be the next one. How many of you want to be that next one? Or okay. So then let's get going. No more of me talking. Let's get it started. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Robert Hollis.
Thank you, Craig. I love you so much. I'm gonna click this mute all. I didn't want to mute you. All right. So anyway, each and every one of you, I know Craig's running this. First, I want to give a quick shout out to Craig. Craig does so much behind the scenes. We were talking right before we got on here that I want to eventually pay Craig $250,000. He just does so much behind the scenes. So I'm going to throw it out to each and every one of you that let's make that happen. If I end up employing some of you that watch this live or live or recorded. This is I'm stepping into the leadership role of causing a movement that is going to be one of many that is going to really help people get the best they can out of life. And the only thing that I can share with each and every one of you, if you haven't read my book, you can go to roberthollis.com/free and get a digital copy of this book. But it's basically my Rigs the Riches story. So I just want to say to each and every one of you is doing this thing I'm going to share with you called breakthroughs is from me personally going through breakthroughs in every area of my life. You know what I mean? So here's the crazy thing. I've not only been through so many breakthroughs I can't count them, but if you're constantly having aha moments, if you're constantly changing the way you think about things that make you feel different, make you feel better. So if I were going to say what's going to happen today and what will continue to happen, let me decipher, what's the difference between inner circle and breakthrough? Okay, inner circle will have a constant mastermind on all areas of life, every area of life. People don't know this, but Wallace D. Wattles has a number of different books. And one of it is The Science of Being Great, and the other one is The Science of Being Well. And there's a phrase that I consistently keep saying is, if what you know isn't so, when would you like to know? All right. And so as I share this stuff with you, it just became my research and constantly me seeking out the best mentors I could find. Now, I seek for mentors different than a lot of people because I got taught early in life, which was not good in life. I learned really young in life that I should only listen to people that are documented and helping other people get documentation. We live in a world now that anybody can be a coach. Anybody can be a life coach. Anybody can be a success coach. We have social medias like Twitter that are spending 90% of the time of people giving their opinions about stuff they don't know. When people talk about the era that I grew up in, the 70s and the 80s, it's like you could pretty much tell everyone that was around you was people that you shouldn't be listening to. So every time I seen the TV, just like other people all over the world seen TV, it was like, wow, people seem a little more happier. They got nice clothes. They got nice cars. They live in nice homes. They got incredible toys. They're traveling all over the place. It just seems to me that if a person watches any kind of TV, if I said the one thing that no one wants to believe, that they're programmed. But if I said moving on up to the east side, all right. So I know you guys are not programmed, but you know what show we're talking about. And some of you are going, hey, I know exactly the show. I know the show. I could finish the lyrics to the deal. The hardest thing about having a breakthrough is not acknowledging that you need one. So as I show you some breakthroughs, which are really sometimes limiting beliefs, but understand there's things that we bought into. We bought into beliefs and concepts and events about ourselves. And some of us will fight to the death to defend those beliefs and still want a breakthrough. Okay, so I shared today, if you didn't get a chance to watch the video, I'm not going to repeat it, but I just said, do you need a breakthrough? And I talked about the simplest concept that I could think about, from me going to the mentality that girls had cooties to I like spending as much time as I possibly can with them. See what I mean? There's like this breakthrough that happened with me, right? And if you guys look at everything in your life that's that way, I'll give you one other simple one that you guys can all get very quickly. Is I remember the first time I went to the big city of Minneapolis, St. Paul. I was going to the North Dakota State College of Science in Wapaton, North Dakota, to be an automotive engineer, right? And so all of us took this trip to the big city. And some of you are laughing, but that was a big city to us, right? And I go there, and I remember there was a group of people that went, oh my God, we're going to go get some sushi. And it was an appalling thought. Why would anybody eat raw fish? That worms grow, and I'm telling you what, you don't put, you just caught a fish, right, Lisa Marie? And you catch a fish and you don't put it in water, or you don't put it on ice, and you let it sit around all day. That's a good way to die and eat that meat. So what stops us from dying? Cooking it, killing everything that's kill the bacteria, the E. coli, whatever's on there, cook it. So my thought is I've seen things grow on things that weren't refrigerated. I'm trying to figure out in my mind, how did they catch this fish, keep it fresh, and then serve it on a plate? How many of you guys are with me so far? So I'm not interested. Good for you. Great for you. I'm not interested. To be honest, I didn't respect anybody that was talking about it. Just plain and simple. I was looking at these people, and half of them get stoned all the time. And I'm like, in my mind going, they don't have enough common sense to rub two sticks together. You know what I mean? It's like, now they're eating raw fish. There's no doubt in my mind that they're doing something. You know what I mean? It wasn't until later in life when I was hanging around a group of people that were a couple of people I really respected. Really respected. And they're going, oh my God, you can't be in LA without going to this sushi restaurant. Now I want to be around them. And I just said, okay. See, all the stupid thoughts and opinions and stupid ideas that I had, whether true or not, I wasn't going to say it to these people. Why? Because if I did, they'd go, are you an idiot? Are you mentally challenged? Are you on medication? It's like... So I respected what they thought about me. So when we get there, they treated me different too. I said, is anything cooked here? Oh yeah, tempura. If you want it, you can get a steak here. I know the guy. If you just want a nice fillet that's sliced up in steamed vegetables, you want that? See, isn't it crazy that the other people are trying to give me peer pressure? And when I'm hanging around people that are doing better than me, my choice, listen closely, my choice was okay for them. Me having a different opinion from them meant nothing to them. That's a whole different level of confidence and belief in what you know, and knowing that your thoughts don't have to be other people's thoughts. Some of the biggest breakthroughs that some of you guys are going to get is when you start having unrealistic expectations about everybody and everyone. I don't know if you figured this out, regardless of your age, but everyone's disappointing you, and they never ever stop. So the more that you try to control events and situations and people, the worse you're going to be. And I know what people say to that, right? Because they're stuck in their limiting belief, and they're saying that, yeah, but you got to stand for something. Someone's got to stand up for this. Well, I'd agree with you if I believed that you knew what you were talking about. See, most people are just telling you what I hear. This is what I heard. This is where my programming came from. Here's where my beliefs came from. And so we're holding on to beliefs and limiting things that are not true, trying to impress people that don't care. So let me sum up what I believe a breakthrough is, okay? For all the breakthroughs I do, this is where I'm coming from. How many of you know that I do my very best to break it down in just as few words as possible? All right? Why am I not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Because you have nothing to frickin' look forward to. No one ever taught you that you should live in the future, that you be constantly daydreaming, thinking about the excitement and the incredible feelings you're going to get for you and other people by experiencing the thing that you're looking forward to. Okay? So if you spend all your time in the now and spend all your time in the past, yeah, your life sucks and it's not going to stop. And so what do you say? You say, I can't stop thinking about that stuff. You're right. You can't. Congratulations, you win. We get to go on to the next person. All right? So here is simple as breakthrough is for Robert Hollis. You ready? There's a lot of things that don't make you feel good. A breakthrough is to get me to help you see that you should feel good about the things you don't feel good. Now, by the time I finish doing these breakthroughs, which I'm going to go for a while, but we're also in Inner Circle going to talk about anything that any of you guys have. Inner Circle is a family for me. Inner Circle is a movement for me. I want you to have the information and the confidence that I have to do exactly what I'm doing. We're living in a world where AI is trying to take over. And instead of being scared about AI, let's work on one thing that AI will never be able to do. Does that make sense? So if we focus on that, and based on my previous experience of 36 years, I'm going to try to show you how to override that. I want to help you override helping people feel better, helping people learn to feel better. That's it. So if we wanted to cause a movement in this world, it's finding good people that want to be good to others. So I want to create a large family of connected people that I can show them how to do every little stuff, from protecting your income to making your income grow for your legacy, to never have to worry about money again, to health, wealth, relationships. That's where Inner Circle is going. There's no topic off limit. Anything that you want to talk about, we're going to talk about. Is that fair? So, and last thing I'll say before we open this up is there's only one thing that's going to stop you from asking for a breakthrough. Only one thing. Lisa Marie said me. Yeah. Not you, Lisa. Lisa for you, but we all know it's us, right? And where do you think that feeling comes from? Programming. Programming. I'm not going to air how I think and feel in front of other people, because what would they think? Okay? That's your first breakthrough. Free. If you're not going to ask help from people that can help you, that have already been there. I love this phrase. I posted it, I think, a couple of days ago. People can't take you to a place they've never been. So with that, we're going to open it up. And I made a promise to an incredible dear friend of mine, Lisa Marie. She reached out to me and said, listen, when you start doing breakthroughs again, can I be on it? She didn't ask to be first, but I'm going to make her first. So Craig, I'm inviting Lisa Marie for the first breakthrough.
Fantastic. Let me spotlight you, and let me go find Lisa Marie and spotlight her. There we go. And
everybody give it up for Craig Jackman, man, behind the scenes.
Way to go, Craig.
He's director, he's producer, and then we got Matt, he's the chief technical know-it everything. And there's people that think they know it all, but Matt really does. So it's like
Okay, you
all
guys,
right.
I am so nervous. So
okay.
Don't you dare make me cry, okay? Please.
I can't promise that.
Okay. I'll be brave. I'll be brave for everybody else.
Okay, so first, Lisa Marie, thank you very much for being brave enough to come on here. All right. So I want you to just know that everything's going to be okay.
I believe you.
Yeah, everything's going to be okay because you need to know how much I love you. I appreciate you. And I just think you're the frickin' bomb.
I am. Thank you.
You are. Okay. So nothing negative is going to come here. And I want you to know that as you and I are talking and getting this breakthrough, I need you to do your very best. I mean, Craig even being smart enough of just spotlighting us is I just want you to mentally think that it's just you and I on here.
Right. In fact, I should change my gallery. I think I can do that. There. Yes. Oh, that helps.
And that Craig thought of that. There. People go, Robert, awesome. You're so smart. And I'm going like, I just hang around a bunch of smart people. That makes me look smart. That's pretty cool.
Oh my gosh, that did relax me.
Good. Okay, so you asked for a breakthrough. The first thing I'm going to ask you is, do you pretty much know what it is?
I believe that I do, but I have been believing this for a couple of years. It's like oh my gosh, I did that wrong. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like continual.
So when you beat yourself up, how does that make you feel?
Pissed off. I'm mad at myself.
Right. And so the first thing I would say to you, which by the way, do you think I did that?
No, I know it. I know it's me. I know it's me.
I listen to this statement. This will blow you away, Lisa Marie. I don't know if I wrote about it in my book. It was we all had a flight delayed. We're at this big training that my mentor did, Bill. And there was a delayed flight, and that training was one of those ones where, he put in probably easily 20 hours of just solid training. And, at that time I wasn't training, so I didn't know, how much effort and energy and stuff that takes. And so I walked up to him, and I couldn't tell he was in a bad mood, Lisa. And I walked up and I said, Mr. Gould, do you have a second? And he turned and looked at me and stood up and got this far away from my nose. And he says, if you ask me again what you could do better and what you're doing wrong, I'm going to punch you in the effing nose. And I was like, how else am I supposed to figure things out? And he goes, Robert, you beat the shit out of yourself so much constantly. There's no one that can compete with you.
Why do we do that? Because
others did it to us. And we watched other people get treated that way. We think that has got to be the way to motivate us to get us off our ass.
One would think.
And it's the exact opposite. So when he said that to me, how do you think I felt when he said that to me?
I would have felt deflated.
Oh, not only was he mad at me, but I pissed him off, and now he probably doesn't want to talk to me anymore. And the overthinking kicks into high gear. And then I'm like, wow, I am I not supposed to beat myself up? And he just said to me, he goes, Robert, when are you going to cut yourself some slack? When are you going to pat yourself on the back? When are you going to say that, hey, Robert, you did pretty good? When are you going to start looking at some of the stuff that you've done in your life and be happy and joyous of the person that God created? So before we help you, I needed you to know that I went through this. And I wonder how many people on the screen, if you want to put, me too, put M too, you know what I mean? How many of you are pretty good at beating yourself up? And by beating ourselves up, it just puts us in a place that makes us not feel good. And so when we don't feel good, we're not productive. And when we don't feel good, some of us do life things that are not good for us, right? So that might be eating or drinking or doing drugs or going out. It's like we got to do something because we beat ourselves up and we make ourselves feel so bad. The one thing that we're not doing is being productive.
Exactly.
We're being destructive. So how many of you have ever done any destructive things? Raise your hands. Like, all right. And I'm not only talking about self-sabotage, but I'm talking about messing up my relationships. Getting in fights. I was telling my son, one of the triggers that I still have to this day is I fight for the right for people that are being mistreated. But it was the cause of all my problems. Well, why, I got a rap sheet like you would not believe. I got kicked out of school probably over 20 times. And it was always me justifying, Lisa Marie, that I had to stick up for people that were being mistreated. Why would I do that?
I did that too.
Well, we did it because no one did it for us.
I thought I did it because I had a handicapped sister. I thought that's why I always did that, maybe.
So I was telling Matt my whole entire life, because I didn't have a mother and father, because I couldn't read, because I couldn't spell, I could always hear this chatter going around by people saying things about me that weren't nice. So I didn't know how to defend myself, but I could defend other people. Right? So it was this thing where I was telling Matt, wow, I said, the reason that I get triggered by that stuff, and it's selfish, but kicking someone's ass made me feel pretty good.
Me too.
So,
me too.
So I know some people are like, oh my God, there's a couple of bullies talking about beating people up. No, we're always defending people against the bullies. Okay. Everyone's got their justification for it. So Lisa, if I did that and you did that,
right?
What happens when we get married and have kids and then there's no one else to defend? Got to beat up on somebody.
We would turn on each other.
We start doing it to ourselves. It's a learned habit that made us feel good, that rewarded us in the past. Now it's just self-destructive. Now it's totally us making a decision to make ourselves feel lesser than we are. And so then the cycle just keeps going. So we beat up on ourselves, we're mad at ourselves. There's no one that can beat Lisa Marie up worse than Lisa Marie. Mm-hmm. And she's an expert at it.
Dang good too.
Yeah, an expert at it. So now you beat yourself up and now you're self-destructive, and now all of a sudden Fred comes in the door and you say, why didn't you carry out the garbage like I asked you? So now we can get, because I'm tired of beating myself up, so I think I'm going to beat you up for a little bit. And then we lose communications with our kids because our kids don't really want to talk to us because we're constantly telling them what they need to fix. So when they get off the phone with us, they don't feel good. And now we didn't realize that we also did that to our friends. So now we're pretty alone.
Fred and I have been talking about that exactly.
And like, remember when I said in the breakthroughs, you guys, that we create a space within our own mind that we can't see it? It's like there's a great phrase out there. Does a fish know that it's in water?
Probably not.
Probably not. It was born in the water. It's always been in the water. So here's the other one that makes it a little worse. That they say, do you know that dead people don't know they're dead? Right? But
I suppose
that's also the same with idiots.
Yeah.
Idiots don't know they're idiots.
And what's really sad is when you do realize it and you don't change it.
You don't know how. See, like Albert Einstein said, the environment that we created, the reality, the perceptions that we created are what we created. So you can't take that mind and create a new reality, a new perception. You can ask for help and have someone else share it with you, and you go, duh. So who would want to beat the crap out of themselves and know that they're doing it, but continue to do it?
Hello.
I mean, you can't fix stupid with duct tape. You know what I mean? It's like
I've tried though.
Correct. So if it's all about, if you felt good, if Lisa Marie can learn to love herself and encourage herself and reward herself. So we know what the destructive things are. Everything else is just the opposite. Now, how many people have heard, and I know that it's going to be a little bit about politics here, but that's not the point that I'm talking about here. But wasn't it crazy how many people didn't believe that Donald Trump could get elected? If you ask Donald Trump what he thinks about Donald Trump, what kind of nonsense comes out of this guy's mouth? See, I know people that were not only giving his campaign money, but they were pushing for him. And it's not bad people. It's people that are, in their mind, pro-business. So this is not a politician, a business person. If politicians can't make it work, maybe a business person can. And so here's the funny thing that no one got. No one got that they know that they're imperfect and have a lot of skeletons in the closet. So when the media tried to pull all these skeletons out of Donald Trump's, past, everybody was able to go, yeah, so what? Yeah, so what? If they knew some of the skeletons that I have, so now you get the people that are supposed to be the most Christian of Christians, right? And they're like, well, you're not supposed to throw stones in a glass house. You see what I'm saying? I'm going like, what? Here's what people don't understand about Donald Trump. He's the opposite of you, Lisa. Because the guy's like, I had a TV show. It was the best TV show that's ever been directed and produced. It had more ratings than any show that has ever been aired on television. And you're listening to him and going, that's not true. it was okay show, but it wasn't the best show. See, but listen to the language that he's saying. So two friends of mine, that I trained, Mike and Tony Kupas, they own ACN. And so believe it or not, Donald Trump was ACN spokesperson for not only a lot of years, but on one of the apprentice shows, they had ACN's multi-level company. They had some of their products on The Apprentice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So here's the funny thing. So Tony and Mike Kupas are alone with Donald Trump. And Tony says, Mr. Trump, what is one thing that you do that you believe is the most misunderstood thing in the world? And he says, I'll tell you what it is. He says, if you don't tell people how great you are, why would they do business with you? I wouldn't do business. I wouldn't do with business that didn't know. So he says, people say you need to be humble. You need to be meek. The meek inherit the earth. He's bullshit. I am the best. I can back it up with evidence that I'm the best. There's no way you can make more money than with me. I got the best deals. I rebuilt New York. Whatever.
Those pirates bug the hell out of me.
Yeah, but that's a pendulum swing from where Lisa is to where Donald Trump is.
Oh yeah, I'm in a totally different ballpark. I
Right.
mean,
So this is a guy that wakes up every morning and does what the Fonz does. You guys remember where the Fonz would go in the bathroom and grab his comb and go, I don't need to do anything. Do you think that Elvis Presley had that kind of swag?
He had some swag, didn't he?
See, it's
Yeah.
like we call it that it factor. And the reason that we call it the ick factor, because we have no freaking clue what it is. Right? And some people say it's charismatic. What is a different word for charismatic? It's
Charming.
It's like electrifying. It's
A
like
magnet.
a magnet.
Yeah.
How does all these things make people feel?
And if you know that, but that's just not your
It
your
is. It is. It is. So thank you. You're taking me to the next part. So you and I now understand that it's a mental decision.
It
We
is.
don't have to blame who started it. We don't have to blame the environment that taught us that. We now just are aware. If I could wish anything for anybody, it's the awareness that there's something different. Okay?
Oh,
So
yeah.
you and I wanted to give you an example of somebody that doesn't seem to have the same problems as you and I had.
Okay.
Did you notice where I said you used to have these problems?
I did. I
All
did.
right. So now let's just talk a little bit about science. So if you guys listen to the video I did today, and Craig is so awesome, he can post that, do I need a breakthrough? Is we hear these things that a leopard can't change his spot, that you can't teach a old dog new tricks, breaking bad habits is hard. So you got to start questioning all the thoughts that you have. See, there's people out there, believe it or not, that say, I'm a Pisces. I'm sorry, I'm a Pisces. I met a guy when I was teaching this stuff, and I was like, all of a sudden it would be like Dr. Dana. So this guy, an old friend of mine, his name's Bob Klein, and got more degrees than a thermostat. And he said, Robert, he says, I'm a concrete sequential thinker. Great. So now you got a label for who you are and the way you think. So, 4 personalities, and then you break it into the 16 personalities. For those of you that want to have fun with that, you can go to, it's number 16. So 16personalities.com. and people that have been around me for a long time go, how does he re-pull this stuff out of when he was teaching this before? He just brings it back. So here's the science, though. You believe, Lisa Marie, that you are a certain way. But do you realize, just like I gave you the example of in the video before this, that one time I believed that girls had cooties and I wanted nothing to do with girls? I want you to think, do you believe that you have the abilities to change the way you think about things?
I do. I do.
You do. Because in the time that I first met you to the person that you are today, I just wish you had more people around you that would constantly feed into how proud they are of you. Okay? This community is going to do that for people. We're going to build a community here and a movement here where we get more positive feedback than we get negative feedback. Because the worst thing about results is if you get them and no one gives a shit, that you can't even have a good day. I got someone enrolled and they bought product today and no one cares. No one cares.
I do.
No,
I do.
but if we're around a group of people that are building a future, right, that are using the cash flow to do big things, I get to be with John when I see him taking pictures with kids that are alone. I get to see, your farm. I get to see, Bill Shoemaker's children never having to worry about anything. I get to see Corky's. I get to see the fairy hair. You know what I mean? So when you get around a group of people that have things, Karen with vets, it's like when you finally get around a group of people that go, wait a minute, he asked me what I would love to do. And I told him, why does he remember it? Because I care. So there are people that care. So you can change that nobody cares to no, wait a minute. I know 2 people that do. Or
Yeah.
I'm a part of 30 people that do. I'm a part of 300 people that do. So this is why people love going to events, because we go to events and we get to meet a bunch of other weirdos that are fighting a bunch of people that don't believe in them either. Okay.
Right.
So my son and I got to visit and got our brain scanned by a guy that you can look at. His name is Dr. Amen. And Dr. Amen is done, and it's spelled like amen. All right. Oh. And we went to this clinic that he has in Seattle, and this guy is known for imaging more brains than anybody on the planet. So he was commissioned by the NFL to actually scan the brains of football players to find out where things are messed up. And so not only has he done more brain scans than anybody else, Lisa, but then he can see where the certain neutrons that were there in bad concussions, so think about a professional football player making it to the NFL, but now he can't tie his shoes.
Right.
All right. So he did this with Dale Earnhardt Jr. too. And so to think that these guys know the brain well enough, Lisa Marie, where they can start getting you to do certain things and they actually can rewire your brain.
I think that stuff is so cool. I do. I do.
So would this mean also changing your personality? Absolutely. And the movie will come to me in a second. But one of the movies that are real, Matt, and, I always used to bring in movies for people to watch where they can see that this happens. So, Greg, you're going to have to help me with this one. But Henry Ford was in the movie, and he was a high-powered lawyer. And for a lack of better words, this guy was just a badass, not good lawyer. And what happened is he walked out of his penthouse in New York, and he goes down to get a pack of cigarettes at a convenience store, and it gets robbed and he gets shot in the head. So not only does he get shot in the head, Now he's got to go through years and months and months and months. They thought he was going to die. He didn't die. And now he's got to relearn everything regarding Henry. Thank you. And so now he's got to relearn things. But his wife, that we find out later in the movie without spoiling it, was just about ready to serve him divorce papers. And his daughter can't stand him. He's just a bad guy. And so it shows this scene when he finally gets home and he's looking around, and he's smiling at his wife, and he's smiling at his daughter. And they're like, what is wrong with this guy? And so his daughter is just so tensed up around him that she goes to reach for something on the food and she spills her milk. And as soon as she spills her milk, she goes like this. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And he looks at his wife, and his wife's scared. And he reaches over and he knocks his fucking milk over. And they're like staring at him and go, why you do that? Why you do that? And he says, I'm getting different reactions out of you two from me spilling the milk versus her spilling the milk. What? Why is that? They go, but you don't know how you would have used to react. And he goes, if I made you feel like that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're walking on eggshells around me all the time because of the way I used to be. So we always hear that if something trauma happens to somebody, massive, massive head damage without dying, that the person wakes up and says, I'm not that person anymore. Including it can get as bad as, I don't know you.
Right.
So we put a name on that. That's called amnesia, right?
Or Alzheimer's.
Yeah. So now all of a sudden, it's like we're okay with people that can change their state of mind under trauma.
Right.
But changing your mind under transformation is called personal development. It's just becoming aware that I could feel something different than I used to. And
that is so true.
When you hear this part, you guys, why I had to bring this back is because you can't teach someone the certain way on how to do business without them changing who they are. I can tell you everything to do to never worry about money again. But if you don't change the way you feel about yourself, that stuff doesn't work for you like it works for me.
I do. You know what? I am consistent with my personal development. I am. Yeah. And I have my routine.
Well, like I said, I can see the difference in you.
Yeah, so, I can too, but
yeah. So this, what if there was a world, Lisa Marie's world, where she just didn't beat up on herself anymore?
I'd be a lot happier. I know.
Oh my God. Let's take it a step further. Okay. What if Lisa Marie loved Lisa Marie?
I do. I love her a lot more than I used to.
I know that. Now we need to take the next step, Lisa Marie, because we go from breakthrough to breakthrough, victory to victory to victory. Now Lisa Marie needs to be encouraging to Lisa Marie. And when she's giving her a pat on the back and telling herself how proud she is of her, and it's this little statement that I had to learn. I'm getting better every day in every way. I'm better at it now than I ever used to be. I'm now going a full day not beating myself up. I went 2 days without beating myself up. I actually encourage myself a number of times a day. Do you guys realize, I know this is going to sound bragging, but do you guys realize that I walk around my house and go, wow, because of the thoughts and the ideas and the daydreaming that I'm having and the new perspectives and the new way of looking at things when I decided I was going to do breakthroughs again for people, because I know that people hear me do breakthroughs with other people and they see the breakthrough that they need. And I didn't realize that until we had that incredible breakthrough with John. And John's like, hey, this ain't working and this ain't working. So I did this, this, and this. What would you do? And then I just shared with him what. See, here's the thing with breakthroughs. It's not that Robert Hollis knows more than you. It's Robert Hollis had to have the breakthrough.
You are wiser because you've been through that experience.
Right. And I went from knowing everything to having this huge ego to knowing that I don't know anything. That's such a beautiful world to come from, because when I'm asking and when I'm surrendering and saying to the ultimate wisdom that I need them and want them to interrupt me and intercede with me when I'm talking to those that have ears to hear. Trusting that flow, trusting that instinct. And so when all of a sudden you trust that, it's like, well, to be honest, I know that you'll be freaked out about it, but I'm just the messenger delivering a message to Lisa that she wasn't aware of before, that she's really aware of now. So now if you go out of your way, then there's no more, but Robert, I can't, or Robert, I've tried and it didn't. See, all that stuff is past stuff.
That's so cool that we could do that.
So if I said to you, hey, Lisa, didn't you, how'd the game go last weekend? And you go, what game? Well, you told me you play softball and you're a really good softball player. Robert, that was a long time ago. See what I mean?
Yeah.
You realize that we throw that off like it's nothing. And it wasn't nothing. See? But we won't do that with the negative parts of us.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's not until you become aware. See, when you become aware and I go, so Lisa, what's irritating you today? That Lisa Marie doesn't exist anymore. Really?
Right.
That's when all of a sudden you're hanging around family and friends and they're like, what's wrong with you? Are you feeling okay? I'm feeling awesome. Well, that waitress came and gave you some coffee and she spilt a little bit on the table, like the spilling of the milk.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't say anything. You looked at her and said, no problem, honey. And you picked up the glass and you wiped it enough and then you kept talking to us. Well, what are you talking about? Holy crap. The Lisa Marie we used to hang out with.
Right. And I have noticed that a lot.
See? So
I have.
How many people hear Lisa Marie right now giving herself praise and recognition?
Working up to this breakthrough, obviously it's been on my mind a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just had more realizations as realizing what the hell I'm doing. And
see, so from now on, it's looking in the forward of what am I doing? Who am I going to impact? How am I going to put other people into a better position? Because all those people together are going to make this happen.
I remembered my why just today. Just today when I did my life. Okay.
And what's your why?
When I joined this company, I knew without a shadow of doubt, I was going to start changing a lot of people's lives.
Everybody asks, what is my passion? What is my calling? What is my purpose? If you knew Robert from the past, he would allow you to figure that out on your own when I know what it is. If you're not making an impact in a positive way in other people's lives, then you're not living your calling and your purpose and your passion. You're just not doing it. So there's this thing that we do, Lisa Marie, where we say that we want to help other people. We want to really, really help other people. The difficulty of that is finding the right people at the right time. Because if you always focus on helping people and you're not intuitive to know that they're not ready to participate in their own rescue.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I brought back the science of getting rich. Is I brought back the science of getting rich because I knew that we were missing something. And what we were missing was the sorting tool. So you guys have heard me in the religious world, I've taught churches how to become mega churches. And it's easy. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Your goal is to make people feel better when they're around you than when they're not. Now, not all beliefs believe that, but that's my belief. And so you walk up to people and you don't approach them directly. You say, hey, Lisa Marie, I was hoping that you could do me a favor. Do you know anyone that wants more joy, more love, more happiness and connection in their life?
Like everybody.
Really? Because if you're interested, I know someone that can show you how to get it.
I do.
See? And then what are you doing next Wednesday? I'd like to pick you up and introduce you to John Tier. This guy's helped me in so many ways, and we just don't get the expert from afar. It's taught in every success book in the world, including the Bible. You got to give praise and recognition to someone other than you. As soon as you make yourself the deal, now they get to question you to death.
Right.
You're the expert, okay? See,
I'm sorry, Robert. I
No, go ahead.
honestly believe that that is absolutely what I've done always.
Yeah. Now you have admitted though that because of the way that you were feeling, sometimes you feel like that might not have been enough. So then you just talk to them a lot more than say.
I realize it, but it's like I don't stop that habit. That habit is.
But now you're aware of it. So it's like if you and you and I's goal, right?
If hindsight
was to go out and give out $1,000. We're going to have a camera crew on us and they're going to physically watch us give away $1,000. Right? So as you try to catch eye contact with somebody, you go, excuse me, and they turn their head and go, get away from me. Do you understand that's not a candidate?
Yeah, I do.
You say, yeah, but I don't believe you.
It's like I'm supposed to save everyone.
I believe, Lisa, that you would follow that person regardless of where they're going. You'd be yelling at them the entire time. What's wrong with you? Why can't you? Don't you understand that this is money and we're just trying to give money away? You wouldn't sort.
You're right.
So watch this. Making the mental decision to continue to help and get someone to interact that doesn't want to participate in their own rescue would be no different than you watching someone literally drowning. And you throw them a life preserver and you're yelling at them, just reach out and grab the life preserver. And they're not doing it. The more you yell at it, the more panic they get. The longer they're staying underwater before they come up. That doesn't feel good.
Right.
That doesn't feel good. It makes you feel like you're a loser. It makes you feel frustrated. It makes you angry because you're working as hard as you can to save this person's life and they're not listening. They're not ready.
Yeah, we gotta just love them. I'm learning that.
Yeah. Hey, God bless you. Have a good day. Look at the next person.
Or you get the ones that they join for
I'm giving away money. And now they're in your face and now they're saying all kinds of questions. Is that real? Am I on camera? Are you making fun of me, or I'm on candid camera? I'm not your joke. Is this pyramid? Is that counterfeit money? Am I going to get arrested? You're like,
Wow.
I
Yeah.
don't know how to answer 90% of the stuff that just came out of your mouth. Why are you
Right.
this way? Why are you so critical? Why are you so skeptical? Why are you so judgmental?
I am.
Maybe because of their upbringing. Maybe because they've been hurt in the past. Maybe people did wrong things to them in the past. See, so we still got to sort them, right? We still got to say, okay, no problem. Are you going to answer any of my questions? I don't know any of the questions. I can have you scan this QR code and you can see yours for yourself if you're interested, but now I got to go. Because again, hanging around someone that's attacking you that way based on their environment and their feelings, how does that make you feel?
Oh my goodness.
So you see, you want to help a group of people. I just want to help people. And the universe, not all of it's positive.
Right.
And it goes, I'm going to introduce people to Lisa Marie where she wishes to God she never said that. I'm going to introduce you to people that are going to suck every bit of energy out of you and make you quit.
Yep. Yeah.
Because our vision wasn't clear. I need to build a group of people that love doing this, that love it. You don't want to have people volunteering to do work at your farm that hate animals.
Right.
What do you want to do this?
Right.
Be honest with you. I'm doing it because the judge says I have to volunteer time. What would you get arrested for? Killing animals? It's like, I don't think we're a good fit.
Right.
You see what I mean? It's like, my
Yeah.
God. And how many of you seen people that are the opposite way? They not only serve mankind, but they do it with a smile on their face.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how much love does this person have? Well, because of their mentality and their attitude, they're going from love to love to love to love. So they keep picking up energy instead of having their battery sucked dry by
Right.
not connecting with the right people.
I know how that feels. I
See?
know how that feels. And
So
it
when
feels good.
So when you find someone that goes, oh my God, Lisa Marie, I can't thank you enough. Well, for what? I mean, I was praying for this. Me and my spouse were praying for this, and you're an answer to prayers. Now, how do you feel?
All right.
So see, I'm just conscious enough and aware enough where as soon as I don't feel good in the conversation, I don't need everybody. There's abundance of people. I don't need to work with everyone. I don't need to connect with everyone that says they can make my life better just because it would be selfish for them. Huh?
Right. I get
So
you.
see, the more aware you become, the more you go, oh, okay. So step one, I'm going to do my ritual and I'm going to get feeling good. So when
I
I
do
get up in
feel
the
good.
morning,
I feel good every day. It is getting
Yeah.
so much
So-
better
so-
and better and better.
yeah. So now, like you said, you get yourself in the right mindset, the right place in the morning. Now what we got to do is you already know what you're looking forward to is helping people feel good all day.
Mhm.
See, I'd rather serve people and serve mankind and have the people that I serve come to me and go, what do you do for work? Oh my God, I haven't worked for 36 years.
Right.
Really? How'd you pull that off? Working with a guy that hasn't had a job for 46 years.
Yeah.
You guys, this stuff is really, really simple. And he taught me a couple of cool thoughts about, leveraging and helping other people and getting overrides off helping people supplement their income and get better quality products. And it's like, oh my God. So you don't know how many people, Lisa Marie, that I've talked to that go, I've not only never heard of this stuff, but this is freaking ingenious. You know how much fun it is talking to those people?
No, kid, I would love to experience that.
Okay, that's your new vision.
Man, that would feel amazing because
So
I
when
would.
so when you say the prayer of Jabez, right? It's like, bless me this day indeed alive, expand my territories, get me connected with those that want better in their life. They want to make a better community. They don't know how. Get me in front of the people that have ears to hear.
Yeah.
So when I say to somebody, hey, have you ever heard of the science of getting rich? No. I talked to a girl today that you guys all know that's in the company that I'm in. And she didn't even know I had a book. And I don't find that surprising because when the student's ready, the teacher appears.
True.
So
That's true.
I know I can say, hey, I'll give you my free book. And it's like, forget it. I'm not interested. And one of the things that I was told, Lisa, when I wrote the book is someone said to me, Robert, I'm an author and I need to prepare you for something. The guy that taught me to write a book told me this. I said, okay. He goes, when your book gets launched, you're going to be a very, very unhappy person. And I said, why? And he said, the people that you love the most, the people that you care for the most, the people that you want acceptance and love for, they're not even going to read it. Now,
That's
awareness,
that's like a nice.
awareness is someone says this to you. What's your thought? Bullshit. I mean, my thought was, whatever. Thanks a lot for the road sign. Thanks a lot for telling me what's going to happen. And took some pictures of the family. I was pretty happy about the book. I wrote a really nice thing in there to my mom. And I put new family pictures in the book, sent it to my mom. A month later, called her up because she's never ever called me, ever.
I remember that.
And I called her up and I said, hey, how you doing? She said, thanks for the pictures. They were really, really nice. And I said, you're welcome. I said, what'd you think of the book? And she goes, book. And I go, yeah, I mailed you a copy of a book. I'm an author now. And she goes, oh, I thought you put the pictures in there so they wouldn't bend. I threw the book away. Okay, you guys get worse. Because I just told her that I wrote a book and I sent it to her, right? And I said, well, your son wrote a book and it's #1 right now in 3 categories on Amazon. And I said, people are saying some pretty cool things about it. And she's like, oh, honey, good for you. It wasn't like, oh my God, can you send me another copy?
Right. Isn't that sad? Something that means that much to you, though, you would think that your loved ones would be happy.
This is how I can flip it. Unfortunately, my mom made decisions and was in an environment where she didn't really know how to show me love or make sure that she took care of me so I never got taken away from her. And most of those choices had to do with alcohol. So she didn't get an owner's manual.
Right.
But the thing that I always bothered me that, man, her mom got it. My grandma was nice to all her grandchildren. She had 9 kids, 50 some grandchildren,
Wow.
100 great grandchildren. And everybody loved her. She always, every time I went over there, she made sure that she spent time personally with me. It's like she was a good person.
Be that person. So be that person for everybody.
Yeah. I don't know why her kids didn't get it. But so I've forgiven her, and I haven't thought of her in a long time, you guys, until just, her birthday was on the 9th, and it's usually always during the week of Mother's Day. So I said, happy birthday, happy Mother's Day. It's
Do you? You see that? Yeah. Do you do that? You do?
In her last years of her life, I was the only one that ever sent her like little toe yoga, this town of maybe like 1,000 people, while Robert's sending her, a couple of dozen roses again, you know what I mean? And every year I would do it and even see it in her pictures, you know what I mean? And people would always say, where'd you get the flowers from? I don't know. So,
but you made her feel good.
Yeah. And so when you wrap your feelings into other people's feelings, you're going to get disappointed. It's what I started out talking about. So I'm giving you a lot to think about. Does it make you feel like you got?
I feel good. I feel, I do, because I need to go with my own, I just listen to other people too much in their opinion, and it shouldn't matter.
All do. We all do.
Oh my gosh. And to have other people tell you how you should talk, or what you should say. And that's what got me.
Yeah. Well,
angry.
Here's the thing though. When someone says to you, Lisa, think about this. Someone says to you, Lisa, listen, you're doing things wrong. You should be doing this. You should be doing this. Aren't you listening to so-and-so? Why don't you do this? All you got to do is look at them and smile. Don't let the trigger happen. Here's another person telling me how awful I am. I do that to myself. And I've had other people tell me that I was never enough. I don't need it from you. No, you don't say that. That's what you would like to say. You just have to say, I really, really appreciate you caring enough to tell me how to get better. I'm getting better in every day in every way. I really love and appreciate you doing that. Because Lisa Marie, most people, because they don't have an owner's manual, really do love and want to help people. Mm-hmm. They just don't know how to do it. And so what they do is they try to do their best by fixing the scenario. Well, I'm looking out for you. You know what I mean? I love you, and I'm just looking out for you. And it's like, how can you correct someone that doesn't know that they don't know?
And it's that, yeah. Oh my goodness.
You just got to say that I know that they don't know. And I've had people tell me some of the stupidest stuff, and the new version of Robert just keeps getting gooder and gooder. It's like people can say to me, hey, you know what? I had this recently happen, not only about 2 months ago. There's someone in my group that reached out to me, Lisa Marie, and said, the way that you teach this business is so archaic. It's like you're not even in the new digital world. And I'm quitting, and you don't know what you're talking about. Now, how the old Robert or the old Bobby would have reacted to that would be trying to stuff it in their face. Like, are you in the Hall of Fame? Have you written 2 books? Have you made?
Do you remember?
No, I said to him, I said, most people wouldn't even reach out to me to share with me what they thought I could correct. I really appreciate you for doing that, and I wish you luck. And you know what their response was?
Mm-mm.
I probably said some things that I shouldn't have. I was like, yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? No, I didn't say that either, because the old Robert would have said, I told you so.
Right. That's what I was going to, do you remember when you told us, if you don't have, you know what, at least get that why to show people that you did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that doesn't feel quite right. Although it would feel good, but
yeah. And so
I'm not supposed to admit that. Is that what?
Yeah, and Lisa, just know that as I'm helping you guys go through some things that I've already gone through, I'm stepping into a different realm,
Yeah.
It's like me and Matt are talking and Craig's on some of those conversations. And it's like my mindset right now is, whatever amount of summers that I have left on this planet is that I need to impact as many people as I can as fast as I can. And I can do more, and I do have more energy. And the only reason that I stopped doing breakthroughs and stuff like that was I had unrealistic expectations on what I believed the information that I was giving them would get them. So there's nothing.
That's disheartening for you. I can see that.
It was really, really disheartening for me that people kept showing up and showing up and showing up and showing up and showing up, but yet their life wasn't changing. And in some cases it was getting worse. And so I didn't understand why a person wouldn't use the information. And then worse yet, it was obvious they wasn't referring me to anybody. So I'm like, why am I doing this? This is just a waste of time. But I was doing it with the wrong intentions back then. Back then, I was truly, truly doing it. Don't know why I had a chip on my shoulder. See, I hope that by me being as raw and open to you guys as I can, you're going to go, oh my God, I'm doing that right now, or I did it before. But I don't know why I didn't feel like I was recognized enough from the world that I was in on what I knew. It was like everybody, the thing that you look for, it irritates you more, Lisa Marie, because I constantly was hearing from top earners and other companies that I was with, where they were telling their groups not to listen to me. Block him from Facebook. He doesn't know what he's talking about. So I'm not getting the recognition of what I know how to do in the industry that I'm in, but I'm getting it from people that are in my group that are not doing it. And then on top of that, it's like, I'm constantly waiting for the company to go, Robert, yes, you're number one. You have more people on stage than any other leader, but I'm not listening to you. So I constantly put myself in situations to stop helping the people that I know needed my help based on how it made me feel. But I chose to feel bad about it.
Right.
I didn't look at the one or two people that just blossomed. You know what I mean? They were a floating little, pod in the water, and then they started to flourish, and then they turned into this giant lily, and then they really bloomed. See, you don't focus on those people. I was focused on the people that was just really, what were they doing? Honestly, they were just on their own journey.
And we are where we are for a reason. That we shouldn't be.
What if everybody is just on the journey that they're on? And why should I be upset at somebody based on what I think fulfillment is for them, success is for them, or a breakthrough is for them? So I stopped being a service to people because I expected the people that I was servicing to do something. That's not giving. That's not giving.
Forcing our will onto them.
So going back through the science of getting rich a couple of times before we did the mastering of it, I'm going, wow, telling somebody you need to clean their room, or doing what a lot of people do called fear of loss. If you don't become an executive, I'm not putting you in a special group. You're still getting people to do things against their will. And it says in the book that's no different than stealing from them.
That's right.
So
I'm sorry, but that's where my self-righteousness comes in.
Right. And see, guess what? And I love you for that person, but I do know that you're one of those people that are like, why aren't you guys listening to Robert?
Yeah.
Melody is one of those people.
Yeah.
So I got these people that go, hey, I'm learning so much from Robert and it's changed my life. Why won't you listen to Robert? You have to work with people at the pace that they want to work at. You got to love them. You got to love them. You got to pray for them. You just, hey, anything that I can do for you. Because when you want something out of them, you're not giving, you're taking.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
So I'll do this breakthrough for you, Lisa Marie. But you know what I need you to do is I need you to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's like, wait a minute. He doesn't look out for me. He's just, it's like, so constantly know that you're going to find the people that you need to find to make your vision come true.
When it's the right time for me. It will.
And it's going to happen faster than you think. You guys, if you're constantly using, the 6-phase meditation, then the things that you're dreaming about today are going to happen within 3 years. And me doing this for as long as I have, like I told you, it usually happens in a year. And the things that happen 3 years from now are at levels that I never dreamed about. They're so much higher than the levels that I've dreamed about. So when your purpose is to help people and help them feel better by helping them talk through the things that they're doing to themselves, I'm calling it a breakthrough. It's like when you start servicing people, then they get to do the ripple. And then the ripple comes from that, and then the ripples come from that. And we just need to be loving and patient enough to allow people to get the information when they're ready, when they're ready to do it. Because once you make your mind up that the thing that you want that will make you happy and you're not wanting it anymore, you already emotionally feel like you got it. It's going to come to you faster than you realize. It's no longer hard. That should be another word that should be taken out of our vocabulary.
Yeah. I
Hard.
believe that I am right there.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story.
I'll tell you a story that I heard today. Listen to this. This lady marries her high school sweetheart. They have 5 kids. He is just an amazing human being from everyone that talked about him. And his family owned a 5,200-acre ranch.
Wow.
The stuff they grew, the kitchen that they had all this stuff on it. And this property made millions and millions of dollars a year, but it also it's worth millions and millions of dollars. And so her husband is starting to take it over for his parents. Only son gets killed in a skiing accident. So now she's a young mom in her mid-30s with 5 kids and heartbroken. And after the funeral, her parents sat down with her and said, there's no one that made our son feel more like someone that could achieve anything than you. You were always his superstar. You were always his best fan. You were always telling him he could do it. And he always told us that. If there's anyone that deserves this 5,200-acre farm, it's you. Oh, and gave it to her. So now you're like, oh my God, I just lost my husband. How am I going to take care of 5 kids? But yet there's other people seeing that you're the support behind the people. And she's like, man, so she wrote like a best-selling book. She wrote a best-selling book on how to turn loss into the biggest blessing ever. And so she says, every day I get up on a farm that supports me and my children, and I know my husband's helping me, even though he's not here. And I'm going like, there's other people that the rest of their life would just be destroyed.
Right. Exactly.
And now she's on the Today talk show talking about a book on, this awful thing happened to me, but look at my life today.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's just, it's
Just
crazy.
like Rhonda Burns. I mean, her daughter was trying to comfort her, being that selfless, and look at what happened because of it.
Well, Lisa Marie, I do want to get to some other people, but man,
Robert, thank you so much.
I
You're
love
awesome.
you, and I can tell that you got it. So your assignment is to start patting yourself on your back. You need to start acknowledging the stuff that you do for people with no return.
Right. Yeah.
And to make your vision come true that you're looking forward to, that you're so emotional about, you need to be very intuitive on the people that you're seeking to help you make that happen.
Yeah. For sure.
Once you get that up and running, the amount of people that you're going to impact is going to be massive. So trying to find people that are not on the right journey, that won't participate in their own rescue, that you spend a lot of time with, that robs all your energy, keeps you out of that positive energy that you need to be in to make it happen.
I feel that I can.
Good.
Yeah.
Everybody give her a hand. I love you. I love
you too. Big time. Thank you.
Wow.
Did you guys,
Lisa Marie, thank
get
you.
anything out of that? Okay, who wants to be the next victim? No, I mean
Boy, I saw John's hand go up really fast.
Hey, let's bring him in. Let's bring him in.
All right. John, hang on just a second. Let me get Robert in. Let's see. Okay, wait a minute. Still working out some of these little fun things that we have. Like that and that.
Craig, he's our man. If he can't do it, nobody can. Yay, Craig.
All right, John, welcome. Thank you so much. And
oh my goodness.
Let's go.
Well, I'm just so excited, Robert. I have to try to contain myself with all the stuff that's been going on, the blessings that, have been going on since we did the Science of Getting Rich, man. You talk about breakthrough. I got testimonies for the breakthrough because, because I'm just grateful about everything. Like I said, my prayers have changed to be thankful about things in the future. I was with a friend of mine the other day, and she kind of walked out the room, and I was sitting in a chair, and I just started, visualizing my future because, every time you got leisure time, go ahead. And so when she walked back in, she said, "Why are you smiling?" I said, "Oh, I'm visualizing my future."
Wow.
That's what we're supposed to do anytime we got some downtime, like some leisure time. I'm sitting there, I'm visualizing my future, and I'm smiling, and I'm enjoying my future now. That's all I'm doing. I'm enjoying it. And that attitude is really beginning to send out ripples, as you say. So when I started working with the children, it was so funny because the pastor who's over the whole project, he says, "Listen, would you like another school?" I said, well, yeah. He said, "We are in the fall, we're gonna, so you'll have two schools." And when I thought about it, I said, "Robert," I said, "Man, that's going to 5x my income."
Wow.
I said, "It's good." All I can do is just kind of laugh and just really be so grateful because, again, my thinking and the way that I'm approaching life, it's so different. It's shifted so much. And I had yesterday I was with the kids, and so first they don't want to sing because I give them a little affirmation at the very beginning. And I have them meditate for about a minute, thinking about that there are miracles and that they have seeds of greatness in them. And so, like I said, my job, I'm going to pour into them, regardless of whatever else is going on. And it's so funny. They used to have these little hangups, and I just look at them sometimes like, well, I can't do this. And I'm like, wow, where is this coming from? You guys are so little and so young. You have this in your minds already. But I keep pouring in the positive. And so at the end of the rehearsal, I have this candy bag. And so, of course, I bring out the candy and everything. And one little girl, she got relieved. She came back and she hugged me. She said, thank you. And I was just, it just like, yes, it was just incredible. I was like, why did that touch me so much? But it did. It really.
It's touching me. It's touching me now.
It was so, man. And so even now when I start giving out the signs of getting rich, I've changed my verbiage to listen, not only am I connecting with people, but my goal is to positively impact as many people as I possibly can, as fast as I can. And that has been my mind. You talk about, Lord, bless me indeed. Yeah. Bless me indeed, enlarge my territories. That is, man, I start saying that, I start praying, I start thinking that as part of my whole day, and I'm like, even now I'm just like, everything is just like, man.
Are you starting to understand how I feel all day?
Yeah. And even when giving out the science of getting rich, because at one point I was like, okay, I want to give the science out so I can get this question in. But as life has begun to unfold and show me things, it's like, just be a positive impact to people, sow the seeds, and let God do whatever he's going to do. He'll tell you who to talk to. He'll direct you, and you'll know when.
One of the things that, like I said to Lisa, when, a lot of people, again, prayer is mostly talking and being grateful.
Yes.
But another thing is what that prayer does for me is just surrendering. So, my verbiage changes because I don't like to be, same prayer all the time. Mm-hmm. But, there's people that go, well, I already know what I'm praying to. Well, then don't name it. Don't name it, So people like, I'm not going to pray to Allah or Jesus or God. Then call it what you want. How about source? How about creator? So whatever created me, I'm praying to you.
Listen, even in my humble opinion, the word God is too small, because even God didn't call himself God. He said, I am. And that in itself was mind blowing. That's beyond my comprehension. So
all this stuff, me and Matt were talking about this today. Everything that has to do with breakthroughs is also, a lot of people don't realize that most of the stuff that we know and believe in, we actually heard from somebody else. And don't get mad at them for doing what they think was right. See, everybody said, well, if I think this way and this is wrong, then someone's to blame. No, just take personal responsibility. So, I remember going through Abraham Hicks's stuff. I was like, well, maybe I can rephrase it. So even though I have a lot of beliefs that I have, and I'm constantly transforming, John, I've actually said, I prayed to the universe that God created. And you created me, and from some of my knowledge, you created the things that have helped me. So I surrender. I surrender all. You gave me free will, and I choose you.
Yes.
And so I want your help. I want your guidance, your energy. I want your discernment. I want all the gifts. And I want you to give me the words to those that have ears to hear. I need the discernment to know who I should be talking to and who I shouldn't be talking to. Mm-hmm. But I also give you permission to give me the utterance and the sayings to say to those that have ears to hear. Don't allow me to get plugged up into my own ego and my own wisdom of things to learn that I believe is right for this person.
Right.
Including including telling me to shut up. So if I run into someone that is not on the right journey, these are people. How many of you guys know people that even if you brought up the word religion or church are like anti-religious people, anti-church people? It's because the people didn't ask on who they should be talking to. So the world's filled with hypocritical people that have messed up lives that are trying to be judgmental and correct other people when other people see how messed up their lives are.
Right.
See? And so, when you hear people say, I pretty much have had religion up to here, whatever religion they want to talk about, what they're saying is I'm tired of being judged and criticized by people that are not perfect.
Right.
How dare these people say that I'm not doing something when they have the most messed up lives I know? And so if people would just ask, hey, listen, if this person is in the right place at the right time, maybe my goal was just to say, hey, John, I just wanted to let you know that, I've had some books that have helped me in my life. You might be interested in glancing at them. If not, no big deal. Is there anything I can do for you? And it's like, I sure hope you're not one of those professional, personal development, religious nut Christians, radical, radical, whatever. And it's like, if I'm sorry if you perceive me that way. If I said something that made you think that way, please let me know. And so you go back, and I remember even recording some of the messages, and I'd go back and listen. And all I said to them was, hey, listen, if you haven't heard of this book, Science of Getting Rich, I was pretty lost in my life. I had a mentor that told me to read this, told me that everything would be okay. And man, has it been. Man, everything in my life changed because of me trying to master. And so if you just want to read a couple of chapters, you can read 4, 14, and 7. And I've had people just lambaste me and block and delete me for reaching out to them saying, hey, I don't know if I caught you at a bad time, but I'd like to share something with you that could change your life. And it's like, freaking, how dare you? Who the hell are you? You overweight pyramid scam pusher. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
And I'm going like, man, back in the day, those were fighting words. You know what I mean? And now I'm just like, oh my God, I just feel so sorry for them.
Yeah.
I just feel so far. And I do. I say, man, Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, just soften their heart, introduce them to somebody that will make them understand that you can live heaven on earth. It's you can change it all. And so, John, man, thanks for sharing that testimonial, man. You just blessed me so much. And I believe, no, I don't believe, I know that on Mastering the Science of Getting Rich, number 7 was where John was on it. It was a lovely one called Gratitude.
Gratitude, yes.
So if you want to see what John went through with the breakthrough that's got him here, going through all this stuff, is there anything more that I can help you with?
Robert, I'm going to work with what I have, and if something else comes up, you're going to be the first to know.
Hey, here's another thing, if you don't mind me having you share a little more. When you know where to access, me and my son are having great talks about this, and I'm just led to tell you guys this. So whatever it is, right? But most of the overthinking and us in the world trying to label stuff is where all the confusion comes from.
This is true.
All right. So as human beings, we want to understand things. And, so wait a minute, you're a black male. Let me put that sticky note on you.
and I don't even like that term.
Yeah. And then I can go, okay, I think he's got a degree. Let me put that sticky note on him. And he's got glasses on. let me put that sticky note up.
Right, 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 right.
And then I think I heard that, he helps children with music. Music people, you know what I mean? It's like
Mhm.
artsy fartsy. Let me
Right,
put
right,
that.
right, right.
And we do this in everything in our lives. Everything in our lives is us trying to understand or trying to figure out and judge and criticize someone, and we don't know them at all.
I don't know how many times people have told me, you don't seem like the regular type of musician. You know, you. I've
Yeah.
heard that a lot. You don't seem like the regular type of musician. You seem to be a little different.
Like,
It's like,
and so, putting people in these categories is just not only something that we do, but we learn. It's a learned thing. It's like when we're in high school, there was these cliques.
right,
It's like John's in the band, there's the clique right there, and these people are motorheads, and these people are stoners, and these people are geeks, and it's like we got all these little categories, and then we consistently do it. We consistently are putting people in these boxes, and then we don't understand how to communicate with them. Well, you just put a bunch of labels on where I'm already trying to overthink my overthinking. And so now I'm trying to connect with you, and it feels like no connection.
Robert. One of my nephews, he's an awesome drummer who travels around the world. His dad was a drummer, was one of my best friends before he passed away. So, but he gave a recital, and it was a big creative arts recital. But one of the sections in there, I never will forget it. I can't even remember, but these kids had a poem, and the poem said, "We tear up boxes." And it was so powerful because they talked about all the labels that people try and put them in.
Yeah.
And the whole premise was we tear up boxes. And I was like, wow, that is so powerful. That is so powerful.
We can't fill out a driver's license or a job application or even a passport thing where it's got all these check marks that we're supposed to put check marks in. And so, it's John, I just know that feeling you is when you know where to get the source of information that's needed in the proper time that you need it in. I don't think anybody understands how remarkable that feels.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden time stops because you're so much in joy right now with the vision that you're creating that time disappears. And you're not trying to manipulate people because the powers that be are bringing the right people to you. And what's funny, I always say that, the ether or whatever you want to call it, it's got a sense of humor. It's from people you never expected.
Right.
It's like all of a sudden, it's like this person, I've known this person. And it's like, hey, John, I heard that you wanted to do this stuff with St. Jude's and these children. I didn't know that about you. Yeah. And he goes, I know one of the administrators at St. Jude Children's Hospital. And you're like, really? Yes, my mother-in-law. And you're like, what the hell? But we're too busy trying to, and don't get mad at me for saying this, you guys, but we're so busy trying to sell people stuff. And we're so busy trying to get people into something so we can make money that we don't understand the bigger picture of what that person was supposed to be in our lives.
Right. And that is the thing that I also do ask for, that Lord bless me with the wisdom to recognize your hand, because a lot of times he'll give things and we'll get our own brains will get us in the way of what he's trying to do. So I make sure I said, Lord, you bless me with the wisdom to recognize what's going on.
Yeah. I tell someone told me one time, it was a cool story where a person was walking in a parking lot, and this just happened just the other day. And I get out and I'm looked down and there's a penny. And someone says, when you find a penny, pick it up and read it. And it says, for those of you in God we trust. And it's like, it's just a little signal. So I not only put it in my pocket, but I put it in my trophy here. And it was like, okay. It's funny when you're looking for signs, you consistently get signs.
Mhm.
And it's like people say, I don't get any signs. Well, do you believe in signs? No, I don't. I really think they're BS. And I'm going like, wow, that's pretty interesting that you don't see signs. But
Yeah.
it's like this constant thing where you become very aware now that you start trusting in the way.
Mhm.
You start
Mhm.
trusting in the way, and you're moving toward that, forward in that way. It's always nice to constantly be in the discernment, because, you know, whether people want to hear this or not, there's still the distractions out there that understand that you're in the way. Did you hear the way I
Yes.
said that?
Yes. Yes.
See, so you're in the way, and they look at you as in the way. So now you're locked in, you got your focus, you got it there, you're going to make it happen. And sad to say that there are forces in the world, like the Darth
Yeah.
Vaders of the world, that are going to go, I bet you I could get John focused on this crypto deal and he'll just blow this whole teaching kid thing up.
Right. Mhm.
You know, and the more you're in the way, the more you're going, really serious? It's like, are you not paying attention how locked in I'm in right now?
Right.
And that's when people go, you won't even take the time of day to even look to what I'm doing. It's like, if you felt the way I felt, you wouldn't listen either.
Right.
I hope you find your path, but I found mine. And I know I found mine because I lean not on my own understanding. I'm going by feeling, not by sight.
Mhm.
Wait a minute. You sound like you just defined faith to me. Yeah. So now that you got the faith, you just have to do the actions.
Right. That's
Without
all it
words
is.
nil.
Right.
And so, man, I love you, brother. I
Love you
that.
too, man.
I love you. I love you. I can't wait to see you again and give you a big hug.
All right, man. See you guys.
Yay! So now people have to go watch the Mastery of the Science Getting Rich, chapter 7, to watch John's breakthrough. So John, man, I just remembered why I love doing this. People start getting results like crazy because they start thinking of a bigger picture instead of, you know, the little mundane stuff that we try to do each and every day. It's like, it's pretty crazy. So Craig, let's throw one more in here.
Okay. Now, all right. I think Bill had his hand up, so let's go ahead. And before we do that, I just want to remind everybody who's watching on YouTube, please go ahead and like this video, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. And also, there is a button down below in the, YouTube that says join. You'll be able to join our exclusive Inner Circle with Robert Hollis and friends and us, and we get to all mastermind together. So click on that button. The movement, yes. Man. And if the button's not there, if you don't see the button, just go to roberthollis.com/join and become part of our Inner Circle. It is going to be amazing. Oh my goodness. So excited. And this is just incredible what we are witnessing. Okay, so
I agree.
I did say Bill's name. So Bill Shoemaker, let's go ahead, unmute you, and go ahead and share.
Thank you, Craig. You are amazing. You hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I just want to congratulate Lisa Marie and John on their breakthroughs. I mean, amazing. And it really helped me too. And thank you, Robert, for doing this, having this breakthrough session, doing the science of getting rich. I just feel so blessed and excited, like Craig was saying, that I have breakthroughs every day. And,
yes.
You know, and every time you speak, I have a breakthrough. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Because, you know, my biggest breakthrough lately is I look at myself and I go, you've really been selfish. You know, it's true. I really had to face how selfish of a person I was.
Yeah.
And that's changing because of you and this master class of the science of getting rich. and the breakthroughs. So
You're
thank
changing.
you for that.
Well, thank you, because you're changing for a lot of people that don't even know why you're changing.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
life is good. Just wanted to thank you. Had to come out and say that.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Corky asked how often we're going to do this. Well, for right now, we're going to be doing it every week. And Bill, just I love and appreciate you. I just love your support, and I hope you guys really, really, truly feel in your heart. And if you don't, that if you really truly believe, and if you don't, you should, that you know that 2 are better than 1, and 3 are better than 2, and all of us pulling together and just constantly just making a movement for people is going to be great. And we all find a way of being able to we're all shy. We all are the kind of people that we really don't want to know what other people think about us. We're constantly beating the crap out of ourselves. And so, when you do a breakthrough and other people feel, oh my God, that's a person too. Because the thing that I think that is best about these breakthroughs moving forward in the inner circle is that people are going to start seeing that they're not the only one. The biggest, weirdest feeling that I had is I thought that my thoughts were awful, awful, awful thoughts. If any people really knew my story and who I thought, how I thought, and who I was, there wouldn't be anybody that would want to have anything to do with me. And so then all of a sudden you get there around a bunch of people that go through a bunch of breakthroughs, where I learned some of this stuff was 5-day classes. I've been through 4 of them. And these 5-day classes, I mean, they break everything that it breaks everything that you think about. It really, really does. And that makes you go, why do I think this? Why do I believe this? Where did this come from? And I don't think there's a bigger paradigm that you can change in your thinking, every one of you, than to question everything that you know. If you mentally had a thought and felt a way, to just say, why do I feel that? Where is that coming from? Why does that trigger me? Why do I think this way? Because you guys do know people, don't you? Every one of you know people that it seems like their whole entire life, from the second that they wake up to the time that they go to bed, that everything's out to get them. The world is stacked against them. They grew up on the wrong side of the tracks, whatever. And that was me, man. So, there's a little thing that they say in prison, is that you can't bullshit a bullshitter. And so I now am extremely fortunate for the awful childhood that I have, because it put me on the wrong side of everything, including the wrong side of the law. And so I understand that you can justify everything. I didn't have money, and the people I know that didn't have money, because we were being victimized. That's the way the world and the government wanted it. So I'm going to get really good at taking people's stuff. And my justification was, they got insurance. They can afford it. They're not being hurt. They're not being victimized. And then the other thought I had is that sooner or later, you're going to be bad to me. So how about if I'm bad to you first, and then when you finally become bad to me, we're even? It's like, why do I need it's wow. How can someone have that kind of thought? But that's where that phrase comes from, walk a mile in somebody else's shoes. It's like, it's almost impossible to think why a person would do something different. But then to have those tragedies happen to me, and then a couple of people feed into my life, and now I'm on the Luke side instead of the Darth Vader side. So when I watch Star Wars for the first time, or any hero's journey, there's a villain in a hero's journey. It's impossible to have a hero without a villain. Have you guys noticed this in Disney cartoons? There's always someone that's the villain. And so that's the way the world is. So now all of a sudden, if you start realizing, I can remember like someone telling me, right after I confessed to all the stuff that I did wrong. And this guy went, man, if you ever get focused on being successful in business, I'm about ready to go to prison. And one of the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, for those of you that you don't know, you can read my story. I just turned 18 and I stole a semi truck out of a warehouse full of beer and had a class party. And these guys that had jackets that said ATF on it didn't think that was very funny. Because I was moving alcohol across state lines, grand theft auto, breaking and entering. It was like fun, man. And it's like, I think I'm doing nothing, right? And he looked at me and he went, okay, he said, so tell us how you did it. And I just went, well, I did this and this, and then I did this and this, and then I did this and this. And he's like listening to me and he's going, man, I've interviewed a lot of criminals. He goes, you just got this figured out. Seems pretty simple to me. And he was like, listening, man. He goes, if you can start thinking on how to do good for others, that mind will work exactly the same. And I went, yeah, but you don't know everybody's out to get me. You don't understand. I didn't have a mom and dad. You don't understand that I was abused. See what I mean? Let me go back into my loop circle that I got going on. You need to hear why I can't make things happen. Let me give you all the reasons why I'm a loser and why I'm a criminal and why I'm a bad guy. Isn't that crazy? It's like, so, going through someone that was willing to push me and help me with my breakthroughs is what's made me who I am today. And you know what? Craig just sent me a message, and I guess Rochelle, do you want to do a breakthrough?
Oh, are you talking to me?
No, I'm sorry. I said, did I say Bill?
Can you hear me?
Okay, there you go. I'm sorry. Thank you, Robert.
Yeah,
Hey, Robert.
I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know that it's a breakthrough, but I'm looking to see what I can help new affiliates do. How to get them started.
Okay. Well, and when you're talking about, let me see, have you ever helped someone get a payday?
Yeah.
So you've enrolled somebody and you showed them what to do and you've gotten somebody else a payday.
Yes.
Yeah, just do that again. See, Rochelle, if you've never gotten a payday and you never have helped somebody else get a payday, then I would have something to help you with.
Well, I know you always say point, guide, and direct them, and I feel like there's so many things to guide them to that I don't know where to start them.
Oh, thank you for clarifying. The best way that you can do this is think about if you were going to teach. Do you have any children?
Yes.
What did you teach one of your children to do? Everything?
Have manners, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, Rochelle, they didn't know how to walk. They didn't know how to talk. They didn't know how to feed themselves. They didn't know how to go to the bathroom and a toilet. Come on, man. Look at all the things you taught them to do.
Yeah, I know I've taught them a lot. Okay.
Now, think about teaching a brand new child how to get involved in this business. What if you only taught them what they needed to know to get a payday?
Well, I'm actually trying to do that with my oldest son. He wants to do this business and grow it, and he wants to,
Yeah.
quit his job that he works for us.
Yeah, if you guys know recently when you watched Josh Weigel's video, I don't think anybody caught this. And I'm thinking about putting this phrase on a 30-minute video and just repeating it because he said it in less than 30 seconds. He says, so how do you become successful? You become an affiliate for free, and then you share your store with everyone. And people were like, yeah, but what do you do? What?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think it's because for what I already know what I have to do, and they don't know any of it. I feel like I'm probably just talking too much.
Yep, you are.
Because I think they get overwhelmed and then they don't want to do it.
Yeah, confused people do nothing. And the second thing is if you teach people too many things that they have to do and too many groups and too many steps and so much training, then they go, okay, so I'm going to have to do this to other people. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks.
Right.
And so, when you treat it really simple, it's like if I said to your son, hey, listen, I can show you how to make some money immediately. And they go, what do you do? I said, let's get a bunch of signs. We'll post them all over. And what we'll do is this Saturday, we'll have a garage sale. How do you do that? Well, we go through all your house and you and your spouse can find out all the crap that you don't want anymore that you didn't use. And then let's go to all your family members and all your neighbors and ask them if they got some crap that they would like to put some stickers on. Because one person's craps is another person's treasure. And then we're going to have to sit out front and watch these people go through the garage sale and the yard sale and sell some stuff. So if you want to make some fast money, I can show you how to do it. And then people's response is, yeah, I don't want to do that. Okay, great. You're sorted.
Right. And that's the problem he's having already is none of his friends want to get involved in it.
Right. Because they think it's selling.
Right.
They think
Sure.
it's selling.
Yeah.
So what I have a tendency, I did a video called the affiliate, what's affiliate marketing? Rochelle,
Yep.
if you'll send me out a private message. If you just tell people, listen, this is what it is. Because what I've been doing with the new generation is I say to people, I say, do you know of anyone that has a large following on social media? That's the way I ask it. And they go,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So they have a large following. I don't know if you're going to catch this next move that I'm going to talk about, right? They have a large following and they make a lot of money. Okay. I don't know if you followed the transition there. And people go, yeah, I know they make a lot of money. That's all we do. I started out on Facebook with no friends. I started out on Instagram with no friends. I started out on YouTube with no subscribers. All right.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
you got to understand, for you to make a lot of money in affiliate marketing, we got to get a lot of people to become affiliates that most of them end up just being customers. So all we're doing is teaching them how to have premium quality products. Instead of buying them from Costco or Target or Walmart or Amazon, they now switch their buying power to here. And then we go out and build a small organization that supplements our income, then replaces our income, and then has a lot of freedom.
Right. Yep.
So see, if you explain it that way, then they can explain it that way.
Okay.
Because I don't care what he does for a living. There's an influencer in every single field. So what did your son do?
He works for us. We have a hydro excavation business.
You have an excavation business. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. There's someone on YouTube that does videos about excavation.
Yeah.
And they got a lot of subscribers and millions of views on YouTube sending them a check. I mean, it's crazy when you watch somebody that's a plumber that's on there. And then you got a mechanic that's on there. And then you got a guy that's tiling floor. And there's a guy on there that people are talking about right now This guy is built a multi-million-dollar business, and he started out doing videos, Rochelle, of him driving down a neighborhood, seeing a home where their yard was destroyed. Walks up there, knocks on the door. Hi, I'm a landscaper. I can't afford you. I just need your permission to make your yard look better than anybody else's on the block. Well, I can't afford you. No, I just need your permission. So if you take the worst yard that everyone knows in a 4-block area and you make it the nicest yard, he says, I can't take all the work. So he not only does their yard, but he then, pressure washes their sidewalk and their driveway, repaint stuff, including the front of the house. And then people are walking by going, what the hell? And it's like, oh, check out my YouTube channel. And it's like, I'm hiring.
So are you saying he should do a YouTube channel, or I'm not following you?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I am. It's whatever he's got an interest in that
Okay.
he loves to talk about. There's something that your son loves to talk about that if he
Oh,
heard,
yeah.
if he heard somebody talking about it, they're like, oh no, here he's going to be in this conversation. See,
Sure.
when people talk about, there's a guy out there right now that just got an award for, I think, hitting 100,000. He's a mechanic out of his own house. And he's got this line that he says, are you effing kidding me? So what people do, Rochelle, is send him videos showing them things that they do. And he's going, you got to be effing kidding me. Now he's selling merch, everything. So he sees this thing. So I'll give you one that's really funny, is this guy takes a hose and puts it in the gas tank, and then takes an air blower, and he holds it right next to the hose, and he blows air straight down, and it caused a vacuum in that hose and sucked the fuel out of it, and he stuck it in the can. And he's like, do you know how many mouths full of gasoline I've gotten in my life? Are you freaking kidding me? So he immediately goes out in the shop and grabs his air nozzle and does this, and it works. And he's like, are you effing kidding me? That's his video. And
Sure. Yeah.
And now the guy's making millions of dollars for video views of him saying, are you effing kidding me? And so now that he started the channel, now he's got everybody going, hey, have you seen this trick, Rochelle? Did you know you could do this? And so then he looks at it and he's going, no way. Are you effing kidding me? And then he does it and it works. And the other one was funny with his kids, the frozen colored ice that you have in the package.
Yeah. The flavored ice.
Yeah.
Yep.
So everyone takes it and cuts the top off of it because you can't tear it with your teeth. And so this guy just grabs one out of the freezer and he looks at his kids and he goes, watch this. And just right in the middle, just snapped it and it broke right in half into 2 pieces. And he handed it and he's like, no way. So you show them go out to the freezer and he does that to his kids and they were like, wow, Dad, that was cool. He's like, are you effing kidding me? So there's got to be a fun. How old is he?
He'll be 22 next week.
Yeah. You can have him watch this part of the video. What's his first name?
Tyler.
Tyler, listen to me. Okay. So you can tell him to go right to this video and zone in at, whatever, 2 hours and 9 minutes in. And he's got to find a YouTube person that he just goes, are you kidding me? Because so what I'm telling people to do, Rochelle, is build a following and turn that following into subscribe members. So subscribe members can be subscribe members of MDC or whatever company you're in. So all the people that I have in my group found me on social media. That's
So
sort of a little.
how does that work with the My Daily Choice then?
Well,
Or
people
don't
reach
do
out
that.
to me, and once they watch my videos, they go, "Are you really don't have a job? You just do videos and help people do breakthroughs, and do you really make $1 million a year?" Yeah. And I know nothing about the product. I know they work, and I believe that the products with a 60-day money-back guarantee will put people in a better position than they were. So
Okay.
I would love you to be a free affiliate. And once you go in there, there's thousands of products you can pick. If you'd like some suggestions, I can give you some suggestions. But I just want you to shop from my store instead of Walmart, Costco, and Target and Amazon.
Okay.
It keeps it pretty simple, doesn't it?
Yeah. He just wants to get going on My Daily Choice and
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. He's got he has the first step of building a relationship, a connection, Rochelle, is you got to get people to know, like, and trust you. So the first step you got to do is get people to know, like, and trust you. There's no faster way of doing that, in my knowledge, than giving somebody a gift.
Right.
So if I reached out to you, Rochelle, and say, "Hey, Rochelle, I seen your comment on Tony Robbins' website. It was a really inspirational thing. Thank you for sharing that. Have you ever heard of the Science of Getting Rich? I have it free along with the audios. I'd like to share this with you." And during difficult times in my life, I went through 4 and 14 and 7, and it actually changed my thinking and the way I do things that made my life way better than it ever's been.
Yeah. I have been sharing that with a lot of people.
Good. Another way of doing it is, again, creating, if you want, is creating something that people consistently see you putting in positive. So in social media, I started out with text, text, and then from text went to graphics, and then from graphics, being positive and telling people they could, uplifting. Then it went from there to videos. And now I'm like, hey, I just have to listen to someone. If they got something great to say, I shared Craig a video just recently, and that will come out next week. But how many people heard that it takes 10,000 hours for you to master something? Okay, that's true. 10,000 hours to master something. But what if I could show you that it only takes 20 hours really for you to get really good at something to make enough money? Doesn't that sound possible? So if you could put 45 minutes in a day for 30 days, you're going to see results from that. You're going to see results.
I'll share that with him. He actually just walked out here.
Oh, wait the camera at him.
Here, you got to wave at Robert.
How you doing?
Can you see him, Robert?
Yeah, I can.
He said, "How you doing?"
Tell him he looks like a millionaire to me.
You look like a millionaire to him. He can't really hear you because I have my earbud in.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, he just got done working out, so.
Yeah, and if he says, "Why do I look like a millionaire?" Because that's I look at him, and that's the way I looked at his age.
I'll show him this after we're done.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew this about me, but I grew up in Williston, North Dakota, where the oil fields were.
Yeah.
And I mean, man, I was running heavy equipment, excavators and dozers and trench digging. We were putting in saltwater disposal lines, and we also put in pit liners and stuff like that. And I'd work 3 months out of the year and make 40, 50,000. And when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so,
funny because that's where a lot of our vac trucks have gone.
oh,
Is to the oil
wow.
fields. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So you
So I
understand
know
it.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, the only thing, and see, that was one person's opinion. My uncle worked for Dresser Atlas, one of the largest
Yeah.
oil companies in the world. And
Yeah.
he came to me and he said, Bobby, I'm just telling you, you need to go to a tech school and focus on becoming a mechanic, because he said this oil field stuff comes and goes and it's not consistent. And he
Yeah.
says what people do is when the money's great, they spend it like it's not ever going to stop. Look at you, smile.
Oh, we've had so many people come from the oil fields wanting a job here now. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's nothing out there anymore.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So politics and lobbyists and all the other crazy stuff. So yeah, it would be nice if construction and it could be consistent. But it's like a fast and female kind of deal. So it's like, when it's great, it's great.
Yeah. I mean, that's not what we do specifically. So yeah, we're plenty busy.
Good. Well, Rochelle, thank you for jumping on here and asking that. And I'm looking forward to helping your son in any way I can.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You
I
bet.
appreciate you.
I appreciate
Have a good
you.
night.
Yep. Good night.
Wow. What an amazing first breakthrough session. How many loved this? Yeah. There's
cool.
going to be more, and you got to go to roberthollis.com/join and become part of our inner circle. Robert, do you want to explain that a little bit more as we wrap up here?
Yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to put an inner circle membership that's on YouTube. And what we're going to do is we're going to start doing these at the exact same time every Thursday. And so we're going to start out with breakthroughs, but the inner circle, I really want to get to know everyone inside the inner circle, work one-on-one with you, just, do all the things that I know to help you get to where you need to go in every area of your life. And so it will be all kinds of different stuff. You know what I mean? Because some people need to get, their relationship, and there's some people that deal with financial things. I want to teach people how to, generate legacy wealth. And I can guarantee you it's not what you think. It's like it's building multiple streams of cash flow that make cash flow on top of each other. So it's like there's a lot of money to be made in the world right now, and the economy's flipping, but everyone's got to be focused on what's making money. It's like when the economy changes, it's like all of a sudden pandemic comes out, right? Well, a bunch of friends that are really, really close to me, guess what they were selling? They were selling all the equipment that all the hospitals and the nurses needed. So if all of a sudden they can't get enough masks, and they can't get enough face masks, and they can't get enough gloves, and they can't get enough, uniforms to put on to make them clean, well, that worked out pretty good. I don't know if you guys also knew what the stock was in Zoom before the pandemic, so, you hang around smart people and you learn smart things, and then everybody thinks you're smart. But, where every time there's difficulty and there's opportunity, right? And so right now, that's why you guys are going to see me really, really trying to get people to focus on what they can offer the world through videos on a YouTube. It's crazy that YouTube is paying out billions of dollars a year to people, but everyone's like not paying attention. It's like, why wouldn't you get in on that stuff? You know what I mean? It's like, well, I don't want to. I'll leave you guys with this closing thing. A lot of people wonder, once you get the breakthroughs, how do you turn that into something great in your life in every area? And it's a word that people don't like, and it's called discipline. And discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. So discipline is doing what you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. Now, if I told you guys who gets credit for this quote, do you guys know that some of you would immediately not want to listen to the quote? Guess who said that quote? Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson said, once you figure out what you want to do in your life, understand that you're going to hate the stuff that you have to do. So the goal is just to make your attitude say that you love this. I love doing this. And that's the discipline that turns into doing little things each and every day that turn into a giant result. Everything that I've done to be successful, every one of you can do, and I'm going to show you how to do it all. So that's Inner Circle, and I love and appreciate each and every one of you. And Craig, back to you. So next Thursday, we're doing another breakthrough, but it's only for the Inner Circle. Okay? So there you go.
And that's why you need to go to roberthollis.com/join. I posted the link in both chats, in other words, here in Zoom and on YouTube. Join us. This is what you're going to get.
And like Dave said in the chat, the drones that you're looking for are not here. All right? So yeah, okay.
Fantabulous, Robert. Bless you. Thank you so very much. And okay, so like I normally do with the Ask Me Anythings and the AMAs and all of the other stuff, if you want to find all of the information that we've shared in the chats, in other words, all of the links, all of the videos that Robert has talked about, the books that we have talked about, they're in YouTube in the chat, and they will also be below the video in the description. Those of you that are watching here on Zoom, go ahead and download the chat. It's very simple. You just got to put your cursor in the chat window, I should say. There's 3 dots. Click on those 3 dots and then click on Save Chat. And at the conclusion of this call, this presentation, the chat will download to your computer. That's how simple. And that's how we share everything. And we would love to have each and every one of you share this with everybody that you know of. If you're on YouTube, please like and share this video. And of course, subscribe to our channel and join our team. Click the join button and you'll get taken to a place where you can join the Inner Circle. I want to thank Lisa Marie Cook, John Tier, Bill Shoemaker, Rochelle Vogt for being part of this. Got to give the props to Matthew Hollis. He is the foundation to this. And Matthew, thank you so very much for setting this up, for being there, for being our executive producers. Oh my gosh. Bless you. Thank you. And of course, thank you to Robert. OMG. You are a miracle. You are a guide, a mentor, a dear friend. Bless you. Thank you. And of course, thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your schedule to watch this very first premiere breakthrough session with Robert Hollis. I'm going to open up the chat so that everybody can say goodbye. So until next time, please be good to yourself, be cash, and bye-bye.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
have a
Robert. Thank you,
wonderful
Craig.
rest of the day.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
guys.
Greg,
Thank you, Robert.
guys.
Curtis.
Hey, Bill,
Have a
Thank you,
good night,
Dave,
everybody.
Jerry,
Hey, John.
Bill,
Jerome.
Mike,
Thank you all for
Jerome,
sharing.
John, Peter, Ola,
Thank you so much.
Diane, Danielle.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you
Robert.
so
Thank you,
much.
Matthew.
Maureen, Bernay.